Hey, what's up guys? Cloudgazer here, starting off with this new channel. First off, if you're coming from my other channel, I'd like to welcome you, and I'm glad to be back. Let me go into detail about what this new channel is going to be about. First off, if you guys don't already know, I currently work security overnight at a hotel. 8 to 9 hour shifts normally, working 5 days a week, so I rack up a lot of hours. I've been working at this hotel now for about a year, and I'll be honest, some things that I've encountered I haven't been able to explain. So this series I'll be going through some of those occurrences that I've encountered whilst on patrol, or just in the shift in general. As well, I'll be talking about some mysterious deaths that have happened in the hotel's history. For extra thrill, I might show some gameplay from various games that I haven't uploaded to the other channel, preferably some scary games I found online or from the PS4. If you guys begin to like where this series goes, and I happen to run out of stories from my experiences, or from what the employees tell me, I'll scour the internet for some other people's scary stories and read through them. Then I'll give my reaction as we go along. I'll look for some spooky music I can throw in the background as well to set the mood. I feel like this is going to be really fun, and I hope you guys are as excited as I am. I've been waiting for a way to tell my stories to people. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. So I've heard some creepy things that have happened at the hotel. First story, I was told that someone in the hotel was dealing with some things, and one night they were just very depressed. They came up to the front desk and kept talking about killing themselves, and the receptionists were trying to get them through it, and he wasn't too happy about it, but he went back to his room, and they were a little worried about it, but they thought nothing about it. But I guess he was very depressed, and he went back up to his room after talking at the front desk. That didn't help. But later that night, they got a call from one of the adjacent rooms, or one of the ones next to it, saying that they were hearing weird noises coming from that room, the room next to them, saying it was like a sliding and then a slamming sound of some sort. About 15 minutes after the call from the front desk to the front desk heard a big crash right outside the entrance. They didn't know what it was, so they called the security guard that was on duty that time, and he ran out to the front, and there it was. The guy had jumped out of his window, smashed right into the awning over the entryway. Now, a lot of the hotel was awoken by the loud bang, and multiple people called 911. The paramedics and police arrived a little while after that to the scene, and they weren't able to get to the body, so the fire department was called. After the scene was cleared, they weren't quite sure what happened. The police were there a while after the body left and mentioned that they would come back with the rest of information regarding the guest. The next day, the police came back and said that the male had a really high blood alcohol content, and that there were different painkillers in his system. This was really odd because the front desk didn't know that he was dealing with pain, that he was just depressed. The really odd thing, though, that I found was that a lot of the times that I'd passed the room in which this had happened, I was always greeted with lower temperatures. But this was before I was told this story. It was even before I was told the story. So that's why I went down to the front desk and was asking around, trying to figure out if there was some reason for this, or if there were spooky things that happened. Now personally, I believe in ghosts, and ghosts I guess is not the right word, but I believe in spirits, and I believe in otherworldly things, stuff that can't be explained. I'm not gonna believe everything, but I've encountered some things, and there's no way to explain it. Anyways, back to this. So every time I would do, or not every time, a lot of the times that I would do my patrols, I would feel a cool temperature over by the room that this guy was in. Mind you, it was summer, so that the AC was on, but it wasn't anywhere near the room that it was coming. The air was blowing, on the opposite side of the hallway, so it wasn't anywhere near the room that this guy was in. So that is something interesting. This is due to the fact that the vents are near the elevators, and the room was on the other side of the floor. So every time I go by this room, I try to ignore the fact that this event occurred so I can finish, my patrols and get through without having to worry about some creepy cold entity coming up behind me and saying some weird stuff like, someone should have helped me, or you drove me to this, some weird stuff, because that's where things would get out of hand creepy for me. That's pretty much it for this story. I mean, I feel like that's creepy, and I was always wondering what happened in this hotel at that floor. I would always feel that weird, that weird feeling. I don't know if you guys know that feeling that you get, but I know, and it's weird. It's really weird. And you get a lower temperature, you get goosebumps. Believe me, we got more stories coming up about this. Alright guys, that wraps up this story. I have to say, even though I get a lot on edge with some stuff like this, I'm really intrigued about it, which makes me want to know more of what scary stuff happened at this hotel. And that's exactly what I've been finding out. So stay tuned for more as the history of the hotel is unfolded. Thanks for listening and watching, guys. I appreciate it. Until next time, stay on your toes. See ya.